I recently went on a pretty epic safari with my friends. It was organized and guided by one of the best safari guides in the country. This guy. I will tell you more about him later in this video. Let me back up a bit and start the story at my friend Shovik's house. Shovik is the guy who planned and put together this whole safari. This is his house. It looks beautiful in the afternoon sun. I had some time in Bangalore, which was spent mostly working, but I did manage to find some time to go out and take some photos and also eat some really good food.
This is good. We're eating different things.
We'll find that. Yeah.
We left home on time, like responsible, mature adults. We stopped for breakfast at this place with really nice wall paintings, good food and great coffee. Fun times. Bandipur is a 4-hour drive from where we started, and it was a lovely drive. The skies were beautiful, the landscape was gorgeous. Sure, was a little tired, but nobody noticed. We reached our lodge in Bandipur at somewhere around 11. Shashank helped us complete our check-in formalities, after which we went to our rooms and got ready for the afternoon safari. So let me pause for a moment and tell you what's going on here. So Shovik and I had rented out this camera with a huge zoom, 600mm zoom lens and a Nikon body, with neither of us really knowing how to use a zoom lens or a Nikon. There was a time when I thought that it's a bad idea to be spending so much money and renting out this camera and we'd probably not be able to use it. It wasn't a total waste. I did take some photos which I'm going to show you in just a moment. But yeah, we had almost zero practice with this camera and it was really heavy and very cumbersome to use.
छोटा ये भी nice with the background.
Yeah. The elephant was the first big animal that we saw, and the first time we spotted an elephant, all of us in the jeep were very excited. The elephant is among the big 5 animals that people spot in Indian safaris, and we saw our first elephant fairly quickly into the safari on day 1. In the last hour of our safari on day 1, we spotted our first big cat, which was a leopard. And the leopard was slowly walking along the tracks. We were behind it and there was another jeep in front of it. And both the drivers were giving the leopard a lot of space to keep walking. And we got a pretty long and nice sighting of the leopard walking and stopping to pee in the grass and then finally disappearing in the bushes. After the leopard left, we just sat there and waited for a while. This geezer decided to come back.
काफी देर तक फ्रिज पे तो 15 मिनट देखा. You tailed it and then it tailed you. No, we tailed it for like 10-15 minutes.
Jim Corbett, you have a shot where it's coming head on.
नहीं head on तो कुछ नहीं हुआ था.
वो हाथी
head on था.
पीछे
This time not
Did that 2-3 times also.
That's what gave me that shot.
But you saw the coat looks so rich colors.
Yeah, really rich.
The velvety tha na body पूरा उसका.
This is the first time in my life that I've seen a leopard, and it was really thrilling experience to see such a big cat. Really beautiful animal.
सुबह नहीं खाऊंगा कुछ, पॉटी आ जाएगा, रास्ते में पॉटी आएगा, सब शेर आएगा. खाली पेट जाएंगे, कितनी गिरेगा.
Peacock. On day 2 we sighted a dancing peacock. It was a very beautiful sight. We had seen so many peacocks on day 1 that we were frankly bored of peacocks, but this was a special sighting because this peacock was giving us a full dance show in the sun. And yes, I'm also glad that I did rent this camera because I got some really good pictures of peacocks. Day 2 evening is when we saw our first tiger. This tiger is called Bologutta male, I think, and it's a pretty huge tiger. It was sitting at a good distance from us among the bushes, and there were about 10-12 odd safari jeeps, a couple of buses, all trying desperately to reorient themselves in a way so that they could see the tiger. This is the best angle that we could manage. We also tried a couple of different orientations, but this is as much of the tiger as we could see. It was raining. We spent a good, I think, almost an hour at this spot trying to get a better view of the tiger, but eventually the tiger got up and left. We wanted to chase it down, but we did not have the permissions, so we thought we'd let it go. The next morning we had a sighting of the Asiatic wild dog, also known as dhole. There was a big pack of about maybe 15 of them, and we spotted them from a distance, and we tailed them, and then they tailed us. It was a long drawn out, fulfilling sighting. Dholes are not very easy to spot. In fact, these small dogs can be just about as elusive as the big cats. Such sightings day after day is not a very common thing on safaris, and we still had a few safaris to go, and we've already seen elephants, leopard, a tiger, and dhole. The only thing that was left was the Indian sloth bear. The next sighting that followed that evening was the best sighting of the trip, and it wasn't a sloth bear. The incredibly elusive striped mongoose. I'm kidding. The next sighting that we were all thrilled about, that we are still thrilled about, is this. As you can see, I'm still struggling with the huge 600mm lens. I had to hold steady and keep calm, but the fact that there was a leopard on a tree barely 10 meters away from us was not helping. We sat and watched the leopard for almost an hour, if not more. During this time, the leopard was very sleepy. It changed a few positions. It was either at the end of its nap, or it wasn't very comfortable in that tree. We wanted to sit and watch the leopard for as long as it was there in the tree. But after about an hour, the leopard climbed down and left. Which left us free to go back to roaming the jungles in search of other wildlife.
What's that? What's this? This is
Is it
the
the-
photo?
That's an egret, the bird that.
No, not that. The one. Who egret?
No, sorry, that's not an egret. It's a painted stock. इसके पीछे peacock भी है. Peacock is bird. Both Bandipur and Kabir.
So let me introduce you to Shashank. Shashank completed his MBA in 2011. After a year of working a regular job, he quit and disappeared forever into the forests of India. Today he is not just a phenomenal safari organizer and guide, but also one of India's leading young naturalists, having written for Nat Geo, Sanctuary Asia, Nature in Focus, and many other top-tier wildlife publications. He runs a company called Wilderlust Expeditions that specializes in conducting wildlife safaris for small batches of people. You can check him out on shashankpirla.com. This is Shashank on our way to Bandipur, where he's telling us everything about the Bandipur National Park. Throughout the safari, we kept hurling questions at Shashank. Shashank answered all of them to our satisfaction. Kept the safari very interesting and engaging by giving us all kinds of facts and details about the plants and animals of Bandipur. Shashank really ensured that our trip was not just enjoyable but also comfortable. So big thanks to Shashank for making this trip so beautiful.
Also, so I mentioned these actually doing the film orientation by my doctor. Lunch ke din bata do. Let these guys also do.
We saw a great abundance of peacocks, some of them from really up close. And we saw a whole bunch of other birds too. We had a couple of good encounters with the striped mongoose and one with the Malabar giant squirrel. We saw plenty of gaurs and sambars. And we saw a third leopard far away in a tree.
वो बच्चा मेरे को दिखा देख कैसा शॉक हो गया पीछे देख बस में
And this is when we performed a move that's known in safari lingo as chhod ke aaye. When we saw a big cat and we literally left it there and moved on. So that's it. That was everything that we saw on our 3-day safari in Bandipur. We closed the trip with a group photo and drove home.